G. So we are studying A2 accounting, and the topic we are doing is ABC costing. And you are seeing my YouTube channel, Learn Accounting with Sir Haris. So the question we are going to solve is from May, June 24, 41. May, June 24, and 41 is the variant from ABC costing, means activity-based costing. So let's study the question. WJ Public Limited Company uses activity-based costing, ABC. It calculates selling price by adding a markup of 50% to the total of budgeted direct cost and overheads of each product. So one and the same thing, which means that he is basically asking that the total cost, because direct cost plus overhead cost is the total cost, and the markup is 50%. Each year, the company manufactures and sells 200 units of product A and 480 units of product B. So the units produced and sold are A is 200, for A is 200, and for B is 480. Information about the budgeted direct cost of product A is as follows. Direct material cost $28,000 using 7 kilos per unit. Right? So you can easily find that 7 kilos per unit have been charged. So what is the price per kilo? 28,000 divided by 7. Total cost is 28,000 and 7 kilos, and units are also given. So 200 units multiplied by 7, you will have the kilos, total kilos, and then you will divide 28,000 divide by the total kilos to find cost per kilo. I'll repeat again, no problem. Product A, we are basically selling 200 units and we are taking 7 kilos per unit. So total kilos for 200 units are 1400 kilos. And the cost of material is 28,000 divided by 1400 kilos. So the answer is going to be 20 per kilo. So 20 per kilo is basically the price per kilo, you can say like that. Direct material price per kilo is $20 per kilo. इसके निकालने की as such कोई, it's not a requirement, but we still have to calculate it just to make our question more easier. Then for direct labor require 9 hours per unit paid at $11 per hour. So that is quite easy. 480 into 9, we will get the hours, total hours, into 11, then we will get the direct labor cost for product A. Whatever, 1199 per unit is going to be. And the what is the direct material cost per unit? Can you tell me? What is the direct material cost per unit? 147 kilos per unit into $20 per kilo. 140 per unit is the direct material cost per unit. Getting the point? Budgeted overheads per annum for both products are as follows. Quality inspection, apportionment is already given, order processing and other overheads. Apportionment is the basis of the apportionment according to the activities are already given in the question, that how you are going to apportion these overheads for product A and for product B. Okay. Next is, he is not asking us to find the selling price of both products for A and B both. No, just for the product A. So let's calculate it. Selling price of 1 unit of product A. Let me calculate it for you. I will write here. Product A. How many units are going to be produced of product A? There are 200 units, right? So we'll start with the direct material. Direct material per unit, we have already calculated 7 into 20. That is going to be how much? 140. Then direct labor is going to be how much? That is going to be 9 into 11, because 9 hours per unit and $11 per hour. That is going to be 99. Let me make you see again. Natija, 9 hours per unit into $11 per hour. So 9 into 11, 99 per unit. Now I am going to go for to calculate the overheads. As we have already discussed that we should go for per unit basis first. So overheads, we have 3 different data which is given. Quality inspection, order processing and other overheads. So let me write it down. quality inspection, order processing, and other overheads. Okay, let's see. Now I'm going to divide 12,000 into 180 divided by 180 plus 320. 180 plus 320 is going to be 500. So 12,000 into, let me calculate it. 12,000 into 180 divided by 500. What is the amount? 4320. 4320 divided by 200, we will get the 21 per unit of quality inspection according to product A, which is 21. I don't, sorry, 21.6. Okay. I don't need to calculate 12,000 into 180 divided by 500, 4320 divided by 200. I don't need to calculate the overhead cost for product B regarding quality inspection, which is going to be 12,000 into 320 divided by 500. And then we'll divide it with the 480, but we don't need that. Net tax 18,000 multiplied by 240 divided by 240 plus 120 will be 360. So I can calculate 18,000 multiplied by 240 divided by 360. The answer is going to be 12,000, and 12,000 divided by 200, we will get the overhead order processing cost per unit for product A, which comes in overheads, that is going to be 60. Then comes other overheads, 37,400, a portion on the basis of unit produced. So that is quite easy. 37,400 multiplied by 200, because 200 units of product A, divided by 680. So from where 680 has come? Let me make you see. Because the units produced are 200 units of product A and 480 units of product B. So if we add them up, 480 plus 200 becomes 680. Okay. So we can easily find 37,200 multiplied by 200 divided by 680. 11,000 divided by 200. 55 is going to be the other overhead per unit we have calculated. Now I will go for the total, because after calculating, let me go for the total of overheads and then I will go with the selling price also. So what is the overhead cost per unit? 136.6. So overhead cost per unit 21.6 plus 60 plus 55, 136.6 plus 140 and plus 99, you will get the total cost per unit 375.6, and it has been given that the markup is going to be 50%. So 375.6 divided by 2, we will get the markup 75.1. No, 375.6 divided by 2, because markup is 50%. 187.8. So I will add 375.6 plus 187.8. I will find the selling price per unit to be charged from the customer according to the activities consumed by product A, according to their cost pools of overheads, quality inspection, order processing, and other overheads. Yes. 563.4. So that is the selling price we have already calculated for the overheads. Let's go further. What is the next part? It is given, has been given in the question. That is May, June 24, 41 is the variant. Calculate the selling price of 1 unit of product A. We have calculated. 6 marks are there. In the additional information, he has given you to calculate the same thing actually with some changes. And there are two changes, option 1 and option 2. So directors are considering ways in which to reduce the cost incurred by product A so that its selling price can be reduced. So they want to reduce the cost so that the selling price can be reduced. It means that they don't want to change the markup. Maybe they want to remain at 50%. But in order to reduce the selling price, they need to reduce the cost. For example, if the cost will become 200, then definitely markup will become 100. and the selling price will become 300. So obviously selling price will reduce through that way if the cost is going to be decreased. Option 1 says the directors think that the number of order processed for product A could be reduced by 50% if a large quantity of material was bought with each order. So if we are going to go for a large quantity, then the number of order processed for product A can be reduced. It is just like that. If in every order you are purchasing material in bulk, so obviously the number of orders will decrease, but maybe the carrying cost will increase. It depends. But he is going to take this policy that for product A, the number of order process are going to be decreased by 50%. Discounts could then be earned, reducing the direct material price by 10%, because now you are purchasing more, because you are purchasing large quantity at once in one go. So that's why the price of the direct material is going to reduce by 10%. The reduction in the number of order process would also mean that the junior purchase clerk could be made redundant. This will reduce the total cost of order processing by 4,944 per annum. So the total cost of order processing has also reduced by 4,944. And then there is going to be option 2, but calculate the change in the selling price of 1 unit of product A, which would arise if option 1 was implemented. So forget about option 2. Let's discuss only option 1. So we need to calculate the selling price again if option 1 is going to be implemented. So for option 1, direct material price, first of all, we have to see that the direct material price is going to be reduced by 10%. So the price of direct material was $140, right? Take just a minute. Discounts could then be earned, reducing direct material price by 10%. So I think that the material price is decreasing by 10%. That is regarding the $20. $20 is decreasing by 10%, not 7 kilos.
Maybe 7 kilos dollar.
Right? So if $20 will decrease by 10%, it becomes 2. Right? So now the material price is going to be 7 multiplied by how much? 18. 126 is going to be the material price. Right? For direct labor, I think there is no change. So that will remain at 99 because there is nothing changed in the direct material. Now let's talk about the overhead. Overheads for quality inspection, there is no change. So they will be 21.6 as it is. But for order processing, there is going to be a change. Order processing cost, total order processing cost will decrease by 4,944. So let's see that what is the order processing cost first. The order processing cost is 18,000, right? So 18,000 minus 4,944, what is the amount? 18,000 minus 4,944.
13056.
13056. So order processing cost is going to be 13056. Okay. And now we are going to go for the order processing cost. That is now the number of order processed has been decreased by 50%. It has been told that the number of order processed will decrease for product A, it will decrease by 50%. But for product B, all the things will remain the same. Survey it is written here. Under both options, the rate of market would be unchanged. There would be no change to the number of order processed or inspection undertaken for product B. And overheads would be apportioned in line with the revised level of each activity. Because the revised level of each activity, we will apportion overheads according to that criteria. So let's go back that we have to decrease the 50% of the order process, number of orders will decrease. So number of orders for product A are 240. So 240 is going to be decreased by 50%, but it will become 120. So 120 plus 120 becomes 240. So it means there is going to be equal distribution. So 13056 multiplied by 120 divided by 240 or 1/2. But 6528, and 6528 is going to be divided by the 200 which is the number of units,
32.
32.64. This is going to be the order processing cost per unit for overheads. So if you don't know the method, the policy which we have adopted, that we were going for per unit basis from the very start, that's why this question looks not that difficult. Looks almost the same with little bit change. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult for you if you don't know how to calculate things on per unit basis. So other overheads, is there any change in other overheads? I don't think so, that there is any change in other overheads. So other overheads will remain the same, and that is 55. So we can go for the total of overheads and then total cost per unit.
109.24.
Here 109.24, 334.24, and markup is 50% again, 167.12, and the selling price is going to be 501.36. So we can calculate easily that the selling price is going to be 501.36 according to our new selling price, according to the 50% markup. And what we have done actually, we have decreased the number of order processed, which has basically automatically decreased the order processing cost per unit. So it means that overhead cost per unit has decreased. It has become 32.64. Secondly, direct material cost per unit has also decreased because of bulk buying, right? So overhead cost has decreased, and definitely because of the total cost has decreased now with a certain amount. So the selling price has now gone down to 501.6. So 501.36, so that we can increase our sales. Sales volume will increase accordingly. Next part, option 2 says, this involves using workers in the factory who are less skilled, means that we are going to make redundant the quality workers, and less skilled workers are hired than those employed at present. They would be paid at $2.3 per hour, less than the current budgeted rate. So whatever we are paying to our factory workers, now we are paying $2.3 less than the budgeted rate. What was the budgeted rate in the past? It was $11, right? Now we are paying how much less? We were paying $11, and now we are paying how much less? That is 2.3. So I can calculate that the material price will remain the same, which is 140 for option B, but the direct labor is going to be 9 into 11 minus 2.3 will be
78.
no. 11 minus 2.3, what it comes? 8.7. 8.7, and now the price is 78.3. This is the price for the direct labor after decrease in the labor rate per hour from 11 to 8.7, because 2.3 has been decreased because of the less skilled workers. These workers would be allowed to take 10% longer on each unit to compensate for their lower skill level. So there is a quick change again. It means that 9 hours is not being taken now. We have to take 10%. They are taking 10% longer. So that is going to be 9.9 multiplied by 8.7. So that will be our direct labor cost per unit. How much it is going to be? 86.13. 86.13. How it becomes? Let me tell you that we were taking 9 hours, but now because of the less skilled workers, they are taking 10% more hours, which becomes 0.9. So the hours they are taking is 9.9, and the rate we are paying them less rate. Previously we were paying $11. Now we are paying 8.7 rate per hour, 2.3 less than the usual rate. So the direct labor will become 86.13. Got it? Next part says there would be an increase of 80 quality inspections each year for product A. This would increase the total cost of the inspection by 3080 per annum. Obviously, when product A needs more quality inspection because of the less skilled workers, which are even taking more time, so definitely there is a compromise in the quality. We are compromising the quality. And because of the compromising the quality, the total cost of inspection, because of the increase in quality inspections of 80 of product A, it has gone up by 3080. So let's see that what is the inspection cost in the past. That was 12,000. So now it has become 12,000 plus 3080. It will be 15,080, right? Yeah. And 80 quality inspection has been increased for product A. So 180 plus 80, 260. Other will remain the same. So 260 plus 320 will become, I will write here, 260, 80 plus 320, that is 580. So now the quality inspection cost is 15,080 for product A multiplied by 260 divided by 580. How much? Sorry? 6760. And that is going to be divided by 200 to get the quality inspection per unit. 33.8. And the other cost will remain at 60. And this will remain also at 55. Because option 1 has nothing to do with option 2, my dear. So don't take the prices of the option 1 accordingly, because option 1 will be taken separately and option 2 is going to be taken separately to solve the question, and then we will be able to get the answer for the solution. So 6760. Let's see the calculation. So let's go for the total now for the overheads, and then we will go for the selling price. So 33.8 plus 60 plus 55, how much it becomes? 148.8 plus 140 plus 86.13, 374.93, 50% will be the markup, 187.47, 562.4. So it's clearly suggests that we should go for option 1. Yeah. So what happened that the quality, because of increase in the quality inspection, the quality inspection cost increased by 3080, and that has increased the quality inspection cost per unit by 33.8. And overall, the benefit which has been given to us through direct labor, that even we are taking less skilled workers and they are taking more time, but we are paying less. But it doesn't make any sense because of that we need now more quality inspection, because the quality is compromised, and that's why quality inspection cost has increased. So there is not much change in the selling price if option 2 is adopted, but option 1 will be taken into account, because that clearly states that order processing cost has decreased because of the bulk buying, right? Because of the bulk buying of the material, the price has decreased, and because of the number of order processed has also, we are giving large orders, so that has decreased the order processing cost overall. So option B is going to be the option 1, sorry, it will be the better choice for us. So let's see what is the question. The change in selling price of 1 unit of product A, which would arise if option 1 was implemented, or if option 2 was implemented, and advise the director whether or not they should implement either option 1 or option 2. Justify your answer. So obviously we have discussed that in detail, because you have to take each particular point in discussion regarding the decision, and difference you will take. There is a decrease in selling price of 62 over here, right? And there is not much decrease in selling price, only maybe $1 has been decreased only in option 2. So option 1 is a better choice, because there is a high value of decrease in the selling price with an amount of $62. and obviously which is the basically our target. Or the most important thing is this, that our quality will remain the same, because quality of material will remain the same. We are going for the bulk buying actually. And now we have more orders. We are purchasing more orders. Number of orders has been decreased, I believe. More material has been purchased. So it might be possible that storage cost can increase, but still we will go for the option one, which will be the better choice for us. नहीं वो तो फरीद, he is already asking us to decrease the selling price. It's not like that because of decrease in the selling price what will happen. This is not the case. In order to selling price we have to decrease. This is our target, but through which option we should choose? That should be the option one. State true reason why the directors had chosen to use activity based costing rather than traditional costing system in setting the selling price, because it gives you more accurate cost, right? It gives a better estimation because the cost is consumed through activities. And when you have high percentage of overheads in relation to direct cost, then activity based costing is a better measure, right? And when different type of products are also used, then again activity based costing is a better measure to apportion overheads in comparison to traditional costing method or absorption costing method, because both the things are basically the same. Okay, so this is the question we have done. Thank you very much. So we are having this is the end of the chapter. You can solve all the questions, and inshallah then we'll go for a test also on this Friday. Okay, so tomorrow inshallah we'll start standard costing. Any question? Otherwise, thank you very much. Okay then, Allah Hafiz.